Hi, I'm Miles Prado of the Values Partnership, and this video series is entitled, When Leaders Listen, We Change Our World. And right now I'm doing listening 2.0, which is all the things that stop us from listening. Today I'm going to talk about unhelpful listening habits. And when I lead these listening workshops, people come up with their own versions of what are their bad habits, or unhelpful habits, I should say. And the most common one is interrupting. People trying to jam in their own opinion or their counterattack or an argument before the person's finished talking. Like I do it. My wife calls me a serial interrupter. People come up with other unhelpful habits, like offering unsolicited advice or solutions before the person's had a chance to think of their own solutions. Reassuring someone who's upset before they've gotten it all out. Or explaining to someone why they feel this way, like as if they're some sort of psychologist or can read their mind. Asking all sorts of detailed questions about what the person's saying rather than asking questions that can move the conversation along. And here's a habit I really don't like. It's, I'm telling a story and then someone jumps in with a bigger and better story that just kind of completely squashes mine. It's like this one-upmanship. I hate it when people do these things to me, but I also recognize them in myself. And it's like, it's just something we do. And why do we do it? It's because we're uncomfortable and impatient with the silence, with the stumbling, as someone haltingly reaches for words they don't yet have to explain partially formed thoughts that are still swirling around their heads. But by listening patiently, right? We allow the other to formulate their own problem and then to think about their own solution. And when someone lets me do that, it feels so good and I can really own the solution and it's mine. I integrate it. I'm responsible for it. There's this world famous psychologist who says this. He goes, we must give the other a chance to get it all out before we jump on them. Listening to someone lay out their problem, even in a stumbling manner, allows them to dispense with 98 other problems and focus on only one or two. It's worth the wait. Then he adds this. We sort out our brains in conversation. If we don't have anyone to tell our story to, we lose our minds. Talking is the way we outsource the problem of our sanity. The other day a client was telling me about this race against time that he feels he's in. His employers, this foreign multinational, is exiting the industry they're in Australia. So his time is limited and he's been madly looking for other jobs. But he's had a lot of rejections and he's just, he said, I'm just feeling so low, But the interesting thing he was also saying was that he's had time to help his two daughters with their exams. One's doing her year 12 exams. He's been able to kind of get the contractor to finish working on their house. And they've had time to put another property in the market. And he's had time to kind of go for walks and think and while still collecting a salary for goodness sake. So I wanted to shout at him, mate, you are so lucky, don't you see? But he didn't need me to say that, right? About 30 seconds later, he was already coming to that conclusion. And he didn't need my advice. And by the end of the conversation, he was had transformed his view and was so grateful, really, for the situation he's in right now, in spite of the rejections. So my challenge to you is to notice your own unhelpful listening habits, like I had to let go of mine, so this guy could kind of see the truth for himself without me telling him. And the thing is, if you do that, you'll give someone the gift of thinking for themselves. So next time, we're going to finish off listening 2.0 with the problem of avoiding difficult conversations. So see you then.